Welcome yogis to this half an hour grounding yoga practice, giving you a chance to reconnect to your body and the earth and the spaces around you. And so coming down onto your yoga mat, laying flat on your back with the knees bent, and maybe resting the hands on the tummy if it feels okay to have your hands on your body, or simply letting them rest beside you. And as you lay here, you might notice the pressure of your body resting on your yoga mat. Maybe where the feet are connected, where your head is lying, and maybe even the parts of your body that are touching the floor beneath you. And as you do this, maybe start to notice your breath. Just letting it flow in and out, not worrying too much about how full or round it might be at this stage. Maybe setting an intention of keeping everything soft and deliberate today. And from here, maybe the hands move to a different part of your belly or maybe to your chest. Maybe you can notice the breath coming in and out, a gentle rise and fall as things expand and then come back to the ground. And acknowledging your body where it's at today as you start to make some subtle movements by starting to draw the feet a little closer back towards you on your yoga mat. Then pressing down through the left foot, drawing in the right knee towards the chest, giving that knee a little hug in, and then starting to extend the right heel towards the sky. Fingers can interlace behind the right leg. You can give the ankle a little circle, a little point and flex, rounding some movement through that joint. And keeping the back connected to the mat, maybe softening a little through the shoulders. Breathing into this space you're creating in your body. And then starting to bring the right heel down and connecting it with the left knee. So coming into a figure 4 shape here. You might want to stay just in this shape right here, or you can start to draw the left knee now in towards the chest. And fingers can interlace behind the thigh or in front of the shin. An option here for a little bit of movement. You can rock from side to side if your body's calling for a little bit of that, or simply staying still. And then as you do, find your way back to stillness. Maybe taking a subtle breath in, a soft breath out as you start to release the left foot down to the mat. And keeping the right heel connected to the left knee, going to gently start to draw the right foot to land down over towards the left side of your room or your space. And your gaze might start to turn over towards the right hand. So a little twist here, and then bringing yourself back to the center. Releasing the right foot, bringing it back down to the mat, readjusting your hips if you need to. And then switching sides, left knee draws into the chest, and then left heel draws to the sky, interlacing fingers behind the thigh. And finding that movement through the ankle, pointing, flexing, or some circles. Noticing that one side might feel different to the other. And then as you pause, stretching a little more through the back of the leg, finding a little bit more softness through the back body. And starting to release that foot, bringing it to cross over to the right knee, coming to your figure 4 shape. And again, maybe staying as you are on this side, or you can take the variation of drawing the right knee in to the chest, interlacing fingers around the leg, and maybe that movement, a rock from side to side. And notice how that feels to bring movement into your body versus stillness. And before coming back, taking the right foot back down, keeping the left ankle connected to the right knee, drawing over that left foot to touch down over towards the right side as the gaze starts to turn over to the left hand. And gently guiding your way back up to the center, releasing the foot from the knee, taking both knees now in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice big cuddle. Maybe the knees rock around in some circles. A little massage for the lower back here. Moving in both directions. Pausing in any part that needs a little bit of extra attention. And then crossing one ankle over the other. Starting to take some very gentle rocks up and down across the spine before finding your way all the way up to a seat. And as you arrive in your seated position, just taking a moment to acknowledge your space, the shift in position of where your body is. And then starting to take the left hand down to touch down to the earth, reaching over with the right arm for a side stretch. And then swapping over sides, right hand will reach down as the left arm begins to reach over the head. Maybe noticing as you breathe into that side waist, any sensations. Once more over towards the left side, maybe inching the fingertips a little further away from you. And again, over to the right. Maybe the hand stays in the same spot or crawls a little further away from you. As you find your way back to the middle, coming over into a tabletop shape, finding your way there. Settling the knees underneath the hips. The hands can be underneath the shoulders. Just settling into this space. Maybe just some small subtle movements to come into this shape before beginning to lower the belly and start to look forward. And then start to arch through the back, stretching through the shoulder blades. Lowering the belly, moving in your time, arching through the back. A couple more rounds like this, you might match the movement to your breath. And doing this twice more. Eyes might be open or closed. And as you round through on the last round, settling your bottom back towards your heels, coming to your child shape. The arms can be reaching forwards, forearms resting. The forehead may be resting on the mat also. And a little moment here to take some time to check in. And from here, maybe your hands start to connect over your head by bending the elbows, coming into a prayer-like position with the thumbs resting on the back of the neck, knowing that the first option is always available as well. And as you start to bring the hands back down, back towards the mat, looking towards your hands and bringing yourself back up to a tabletop position. Now start to draw the hips over towards the right and then making some circles with the hips. And that slow, deliberate movement of around one direction. Feeling into any areas of your body. Pausing in any parts that need some extra love today. And then coming back to the center. Start to draw the hips over towards the left side and then drawing some circles in this direction. Again, acknowledging that either side might feel quite different. And then bringing yourself all the way back to center, beginning to tuck the toes. And then start to draw your bottom back towards your heels. Noticing maybe a little bit of extra pressure coming into the toes. And you can stay here or start to draw the hands a little closer towards the knees. Palms still resting on the ground. And then another option is to come to sit all the way back on your heels. Hands can be resting on your legs. And wherever you are, just taking notice of this space, of any thoughts that might be coming in and out, any feelings or sensations. And coming back to that grounding experience. As you gently start to come away from your heels, untucking the toes, maybe giving them a little tap on your mat, letting the blood flow back into that area. Again, noticing and just observing how it feels. As you settle back towards your heels now, toes untucked this time, reaching the arms up, and then drawing the hands to your heart space, anjali mudra. Thumbs connecting to your chest. A moment of pause. And then taking the hands down to the mat, beginning to once again tuck the toes, this time lifting the hips all the way up and back to a downward facing dog shape. And the chance here to move out in this shape, maybe bending one knee at a time, again feeling into the toes, stretching out through the backs of the legs, through the back body. And as you settle into this shape, making any adjustments for your body. And then taking the hands for a little walk all the way back towards your feet. So coming to a forward fold at the back of your yoga mat. Maybe the feet come a little bit wider than your hips here. Soft through the knees. Maybe a gentle sway from side to side. You can stay exactly as you are, or you might start to flip the palms and take them underneath the soles of the feet, giving yourself a little hand massage here. And if your body's calling for movement, you might once again sway side to side or a little rock backwards and forwards, feeling the energy of the feet now coming into your hands. And as you're ready, you can start to remove the hands from underneath the feet and then gently uncurl the body, coming all the way up to standing. Head is the last thing to rise, and arms can come wide and high before reconnecting once again at the heart space. And taking an inhale, the arms will come down by your sides before reaching all the way up. Hands connect and travel down through the heart space, back to a forward fold. Coming to a halfway lift, flat back, and then settling back, forward fold. Gently rising all the way up to standing, arms lifting, reaching, connecting, before coming back to the heart space. And a couple more half sun salutations, reaching high on an inhale. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forwards. Your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana on your breath in. Your breath out, Uttanasana. Gently rising to standing once again. Lifting the arms overhead. Reconnecting at your chest. Arms lift, breath in. Folding, breath out. Halfway up. And folding back. Rising high once again, reaching overhead, and letting the hands settle back to the heart space. Lifting the arms up through the heart space, this time folding, swan diving down back to a forward fold. And then walking your hands out long, coming to your downward facing dog, resettling back in this space. And as you take a breath in here, breathing into your body. And on the next inhale, lift the right leg to the sky, heel flexes, before drawing the right knee in towards the nose. And gently placing the right foot between the hands, lowering down through the left knee, coming to a low lunge shape. You can keep the fingertips down for now. Maybe a little opening comes into the left hip flexor. And then you can start to gently guide your way up. Hands can come to the hips. Still feeling grounded through both feet, opposite edges. And as you feel stable in this shape, you can start to take your left outside edge of your left hand to the outside of your right knee as the right arm reaches towards the sky. Taking a twist here. The right arm will now reach around towards your lower back. Maybe broadening the chest a little more, still connected to the ground. Lifting the right arm back up. Extending. And then the hands can connect at the heart space. Once again, turning towards the right side, the left elbow will hook on the outside of the right knee. You can press into your hands. Maybe a little more to turn the chest a little further towards the side. Gaze can be up or down. And then returning to center, the arms will lift overhead. Keeping the hands connected, bending at the elbows so the thumbs can maybe reach for the back of the neck. And then starting to release the hands forward, straightening through the front leg, your half Hanumanasana or half split shape. Maybe a couple of little halfway lifts here, rising to the fingertips on an inhale and softening on a breath out. You can start to crawl the hands a little further back forward now. Left hand stays down, right arm opens to the sky, simple twist. Circling down the right hand. Begin to tuck the back toes. And then find your way back to a plank shape. Knees can be on or off the ground here. Holding, strengthening. And then lowering down knees, untuck toes. Chest and chin come down to the ground. As you inhale, begin to lift through the chest for your baby cobra shape. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rising. Exhale, folding. One last time, lifting. Holding here before reconnecting the chest back to the ground. And then tucking the toes, finding your way up and back to a child shape. A moment of rest here. And taking this opportunity to check in with yourself. And as you're ready, you can find your way up and back to a downward facing dog once again. This time the left heel will rise to the sky, breath in. Breath out, drawing knee towards the nose and gently placing the left foot in between the hands, lower down right knee, untuck toes. And staying here in this low lunge for a moment, lengthening through the right hip flexor. And As you're ready, you can start to lift the hands to the hips, adjusting the feet as you need to feel stable. And then starting to draw the right hand to the outside edge of the left knee, left arm will now lift towards the sky. Embracing any wobbles or movements. And you can start to lower down the left arm and now hook that behind the lower back. Maybe the chest spins a little further towards the left side. That left arm will once again lift back to the center before reconnecting the hands at the heart space. A little turn towards the left as the right elbow now hooks around the left knee. Gaze can be up to the sky if you're feeling a little more open today, or if you still want to keep with that grounding theme, looking down at your left big toes. And the arms then once again reach towards the sky, the bend in the elbows as the hands reach towards the top of the spine. And then letting go of the hands, reaching forward, straightening the left leg, your half Hanumanasana. Maybe once again those halfway lifts, breath in, rising, your breath out folds you forwards. Any movement here, welcome. And then as you're ready, start to bend once again through the left knee. Right hand stays down as left arm opens for your simple twist. Circling that hand back down, tucking the back toes, finding your way back to a plank shape. Lower down knees. Untuck toes. And then coming back down onto your belly. And this time with your arms reaching behind you here. And as you breathe in, reach up through the chest, lengthening through the arms, your Shalabhasana locust shape. And lower back down, you can bring the hands in front of you, resting the right cheek. Noticing how it feels to have the whole front of the body now connected to the mat, to the earth. And coming back to center, setting yourself up once again for your locust shape. And you can keep with the variation, lengthening through the arms, or this time interlace the fingers behind you. And then start to draw the arms back, lift through the chest, keeping the legs engaged. And then when you're ready, lower down the chest, releasing the hands, bringing them in front of your face once again. This time left cheek will come down for a moment of rest. As you find your way back up, tucking the toes, and then settling back to your child shape once again. And just noticing how it feels right now to be in your body after this movement. Noticing the parts of your body connected to the ground. And start to look forwards, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. I'm going to walk out of the feet here if you'd like. And then start to bend the knees and look forwards towards the hands, but the hands are going to walk back towards your feet. Into a forward fold and then rising all the way up to standing, arms will lift. And as you're ready, you can rise onto your tippy toes. Again, feeling grounded through the very tips of your feet. And then staying high up on your toes, start to bend through the knees as if you're coming down to sit on your heels. And then lower yourself all the way down onto the mat, coming to sit with your legs out long. Adjusting your sit bones, stretching through the feet, toes flexed. And then starting to draw the left foot into your right inner thigh. Keeping that right leg active and taking both hands on the inside of that right leg. Coming to your forward fold on this side. Maybe stay up on your fingertips or simply come down to your forearms. Your head might reach all the way down, or you might want to stay nice and soft in this shape. And focusing on that element of grounding through the different parts of the body. And this might mean adding in a little bit of movement, maybe a sway from side to side. A little nod or shake of the head. You might come back to stillness for a moment, noticing and observing. For walking the hands back towards you, and then swapping over sides, left leg will extend long as the right foot now starts to come into the left inner thigh. Both hands come on the inside of the left leg. And then start to maybe walk your hands forward a little here. Option to stay on the fingertips, come to the forearms, or reach the arms long. And again, if movement is what your body is calling for, that gentle sway from side to side through the upper body might be something nice for you. Knowing that stillness is also an option. Moving mindfully, you can start to lift your way back up to the center. And taking both legs out nice and long here. And coming to a last little hip opener. You might inch yourself a little further forward. Start to bend the left knee behind you. Right knee also bends, as if you're taking the sole of the right foot near the left knee. The right hand's going to come behind you as the left arm sweeps up towards the sky. Coming to this mermaid variation. And you might want to just stay as you are, or you might simply start to press into the right hand. The left arm will start to reach towards the sky. Opening up through the front of the body, staying grounded through the feet, through the knees. As you come all the way down, start to swap over sides. This time bending the right leg behind you. Left sole of the foot will aim towards the right knee. This time left arm comes behind you as right arm lifts. Again, you might stay here in this shape or start to press into the left hand and begin to open up. And then making your way all the way back down, uncrossing the legs, bringing them back out in front once again, and scooting forwards a little on your mat as you start to hug the knees in towards you, just rising up onto the tippy toes, and cuddling yourself into a nice big round shape, a big ball. Taking this moment to have some gratitude for yourself and your practice. And as you release, planting down the feet, and extending the arms as you gently start to roll the weight of your body back down to the mat, and then lengthening the arms nice and long. Nice big stretch. Taking the arms down as you start to draw the right knee in towards the chest, taking hold of the right knee. And this will turn into a twist. Right knee will start to travel over towards the left. The left hand can hover on top of that knee. Right arm might be extended out nice and long. And keeping that feeling of being grounded. Drawing the right knee back and then extending that right heel towards the sky. Fingers can stay interlaced behind the right thigh. You might point and flex through the foot. And as you're ready, you'll begin to swap sides. Right leg extends as left knee now draws in towards the chest. Moment here before your supine twist. Left knee draws over towards the right. Left arm reaches long. Maybe right hand settles on top of that left knee. Maybe feeling the body start to wind down. Drawing a knee back in towards the chest and then extending left heel to the sky. A little point and flex of the foot. Last little moment of activity through the feet. And then taking that knee all the way back down. Extending both the legs out nice and long. Letting the feet flop out to the sides. Arms also out to the sides. And taking a few minutes here in your Shavasana, your final resting shape. Maybe one last body scan from the feet and all the way up through the legs, into the hips, the tummy, the back. The arms and the hands. And then finally the head. All connected to the earth beneath you. And you'll have a few moments here resting without the sound of my voice. You can start to take a little wriggle of the fingers and toes as you bring some awareness back to your physical body. Any other movements are welcome through the face or the head. And as you're ready, starting to bend the knees and taking a little rock over to your preferred side. Just resting in the recovery position for a moment. Before finding your way up to a seat. Whatever that might look like for you. Letting the benefits of your practice wash over your body as the hands connect In Anjali mudra, bringing the thumbs to the third eye, space between the eyebrows. Namaste.